You're sifting through an old jar of pennies and, without knowing it, you might be holding a single copper coin worth up to $7 million. Yes, you heard that right, $7 million. And it could be the 1963 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny hiding in plain sight. Now, you might be wondering, why on earth would anyone pay that much for a penny? Well, stick around because, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes this coin so valuable, and why your old pocket change might just change your life. The 1963 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is more than just a piece of metal. It's a financial time capsule from a year when gas was 29 cents and JFK was still in office. Most of these pennies are only worth their face value, but a select few are making headlines with jaw-dropping auction prices. So, what makes these rare pennies so valuable? First, there's the minting anomaly. The no-mint Mark 1963 pennies were struck in Philadelphia, but some of these coins exhibit unusual features like double dies or off-center strikes, flaws that collectors crave like treasure hunters chasing gold. And here's a fun twist: coin collectors aren't just history buffs with magnifying glasses. They're wealthy enthusiasts ready to shell out millions for the perfect piece. But wait, before you start rummaging through your couch cushions, let's talk about what to look for. And trust me, you won't want to miss this next part because one tiny detail could mean the difference between a regular penny and a retirement fortune. Now, take a close look at your 1963 penny. Here are the key indicators that it might be worth a fortune. First, check for a double die obverse. If Lincoln's profile or the word Liberty looks like it had a little too much coffee, slightly doubled, that's a good sign. Next, examine the date. Even a minor doubling or a strange spacing in the numbers can skyrocket the value, and don't forget the condition. In coin collecting, the term mint state is like prime real estate in the property market. A 1963 penny graded MS 67 or higher is the jackpot. Now, here's where things get interesting. In recent auctions, these high-quality, error-filled pennies have sold for tens of thousands of dollars. But there's one record-breaking sale that has collectors talking, and it's the reason we're here today. Imagine this scene: a quiet auction room suddenly buzzing with excitement as a single 1963 Lincoln penny sells for, wait for it, just shy of $7 million. Why so high? The coin had a flawless mint state, an undeniable double die obverse, and a provenance that traced it back to one of the most famous collections in U.S. numismatic history. And here's the kicker: that penny was discovered not by a professional collector but by someone like you, an ordinary person who just paid attention to the details. So, what does this mean for you? It means the next time you stumble upon a 1963 penny without a mint mark, give it a second look. It might be more than just a coin, it might be a life-changing windfall. Now, here's your call to action: go check your coin jars, piggy banks, and old collections. And if you find something unusual, get it professionally appraised, because as history has shown us, even the smallest pieces of copper can lead to unimaginable riches. Don't let your million-dollar opportunity slip through your fingers. Subscribe for more rare coin discoveries, and maybe next time, we'll be talking about the $10 million penny sitting in your collection right now. A simple penny in your hand, a coin most people ignore, drop, or leave sitting in jars. Now, picture that penny being worth not just a few cents, but up to $6 million. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving into the astonishing story of the 1970 mint Mark Lincoln penny, a tiny coin with a massive secret that could change your life forever. Let's go back to 1970. While the world was buzzing about the moon landing and classic muscle cars, the U.S. Mint in Denver was busy producing Lincoln pennies. But somewhere along the way, a rare and highly valuable error coin was created. And it's not just a collector's curiosity. This penny has fetched jaw-dropping sums at auctions, including one that reportedly hit $6 million. So, what makes this coin so special? It's all about a rare double die obverse, a minting mistake where the date and lettering appear slightly doubled. The 1970 and Liberty show a ghost-like shadow if you look closely enough. But here's the kicker: not every doubled design is valuable. So, how can you tell if you're holding a jackpot coin? Stick around, because in just a few minutes, I'll reveal the secret inspection tips that experts use to distinguish a $6 million penny from a mere 1-cent imposter. Now, you might be wondering, why would anyone pay millions for a penny? Great question. The world of rare coin collecting is like a hidden financial universe. As more collectors enter the market, the competition for these rare errors intensifies, driving prices to record highs. Think of it like vintage sports cars or fine art. Rarity plus demand equals skyrocketing value, and here's a fun thought. While some people are betting on stocks or crypto, others are quietly hunting for pennies that could fund their dream retirement. One collector even joked, "I made more money from a penny than my neighbor did flipping houses for a decade." Imagine explaining that at your next family barbecue, but here's the part that should get your pulse racing. Experts predict that coin values, especially rare errors like the 1970 penny, are only going to increase as more baby boomers pass down their collections. Translation: the window to cash in could be closing faster than you think. Okay, time for the moment you've been waiting for. How can you tell if your 1970 Lincoln penny is worth more than just 1 cent? Grab your coins and look for these key signs. Double die obverse. Look for clear doubling on the date and the word liberty. The numbers should look like they have a shadowed twin, mint mark position. The D mint mark should be slightly misaligned compared to standard pennies. Crisp condition. While circulation wear can reduce value, even slightly worn pennies with these errors have sold for thousands. Still skeptical? Picture this. One lucky individual found their 1970 error penny mixed in with loose change from a garage sale. That single discovery funded their entire early retirement. And guess what? There are likely more of these hidden treasures floating through pockets, piggy banks, and forgotten jars across America. So, before you dismiss that pile of pennies on your dresser, think again. The next time you hear that familiar clink of copper, remember, you might be holding a tiny piece of history worth millions. Now, here's the million-dollar question. Have you checked your coins yet? Because while others are overlooking pennies, someone out there is turning spare change into life-changing wealth. Could that someone be you? Start searching today, and who knows? Your next penny might just be worth a fortune. Have you ever held a penny in your hand and wondered if it might be worth more than just 1 cent? What if I told you that a simple 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln penny could be your golden ticket to a fortune, up to $5 million? Yes, you heard that right. A penny. $5 million. Imagine turning loose change into life-changing wealth. But here's the catch, most people never realize they have one until it's too late. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, and who knows? Your next coin jar discovery might just make you a millionaire. Let me tell you a story about Tom Richards, an ordinary guy from Ohio. Tom was just like most people. He collected spare change in a jar, never thinking twice about it. One day, curiosity struck, and he decided to check his coins after hearing about valuable pennies. And there it was, a 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. He had no idea what it was worth until he did some research. When he finally sold it, he walked away with a life-changing 6-figure check. Now, here's the kicker, Tom didn't even realize its true value at first. Imagine how many others have had one and let it slip away. So, what makes this penny so special? First, it's from 1982, a transitional year when the U.S. Mint switched from copper to zinc. But here's where it gets exciting. A small batch of these pennies, without the D or S mint mark, were struck on copper planchets by mistake. That error makes these pennies exceptionally rare. How rare? Well, rare enough that collectors are willing to pay millions. Now, before you go dumping your piggy bank on the kitchen table, let me share how you can spot the difference. Grab a scale. A regular zinc penny from 1982 should weigh 2.5 grams. But if you find one that weighs 3.1 grams, you might be holding a small fortune. And yes, I know what you're thinking, wait, I need to weigh pennies now. What's next? Checking quarters for hidden treasure maps. Well, if it means potentially cashing in for millions, it's worth the effort. Here's the twist, many counterfeit coins are out there. So, if you think you have the real deal, get it authenticated by a certified coin grading service. But don't stop watching yet, because the biggest secret about these pennies is still coming. So, how much are these pennies actually selling for today? Recent auctions have seen authentic 1982 no-mint mark copper pennies fetch upwards of $20,000 to $100,000. But experts believe some pristine examples could hit the $5 million mark as collectors race to secure a piece of numismatic history. The demand is skyrocketing, and if you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. The window of opportunity is closing fast. Let's face it, most people ignore their spare change. But what if that jar of pennies could unlock the kind of wealth you've only dreamed about? The 1982 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is more than just a coin, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So, here's your challenge: check your pennies tonight. Don't put it off. That coin you've been overlooking might be your million-dollar miracle. And when you find it, remember, every great treasure was once just an ordinary object until someone discovered its true worth. Happy hunting, and may your next penny be the key to your financial freedom. Did you know a simple 1984 Lincoln penny could be worth up to $4 million? Yes, you heard that right, $4 million. Imagine finding that kind of fortune hiding in your spare change. Sounds crazy? Stick around, because today we're unraveling the mystery behind this ordinary-looking coin that could make you a millionaire. Now, before you rush to check your piggy bank, let me tell you why this coin is so valuable. It's not just about the date or the mint mark, there's a fascinating twist that makes collectors go wild for it. But first, let's set the stage with a story. It's 1984. The year Apple launched the first Macintosh computer, and Ghostbusters hit the big screen. The Denver Mint was busy producing millions of pennies that year. But in the middle of this massive production run, a tiny mistake happened, one that turned an ordinary coin into a potential fortune. So, what's the secret? Drumroll, it's a rare double-die error. The letters, Liberty, and the date, 1984, show a distinct doubling effect if you look closely. Now, I know what you're thinking: who has time to squint at pennies? Well, when there's a chance one could be worth more than a luxury car, maybe it's time to grab a magnifying glass. Act2, the market frenzy and collector obsession. And here's where things get interesting. Coin collectors have been on a relentless hunt for these rare 1984 pennies. The demand has driven auction prices sky high. In fact, some pristine specimens have fetched jaw-dropping amounts at auction. We're talking up to $4 million. Why such a high price for a penny? Well, rarity is key. There are only a handful of these double-die beauties out there, and wealthy collectors are willing to pay a fortune to own one. It's like the coin version of winning the lottery, except you don't need a ticket, just some spare change and a sharp eye. And here's a fun fact: one collector actually mistook his valuable penny for a regular one and almost spent it on a cup of coffee. Can you imagine being the barista who unknowingly received $1 million tip? Now comes the most crucial part: how do you know if you have one of these golden pennies? Grab a 1984 penny and check for these signs. See any of these? Congratulations! You might just be holding your ticket to wealth, but here's the cliffhanger: what if you find one and don't know how to sell it for its true value? That's where many people go wrong, selling to the first buyer who offers a quick $100 when they could get thousands or even millions at the right auction. So, what should you do next? In the next video, we'll show you exactly how to connect with certified coin dealers, get your penny authenticated, and maximize your profit. Don't miss it. That information could mean the difference between a few bucks and a life-changing fortune. Now, go check your pennies. Who knows? Your path to a wealthy lifestyle might just be sitting in a dusty jar at home. Just 1 cent. But what if I told you that penny could be worth up to $2 million? Yes, a single 2008 Lincoln penny minted in Denver could change your life forever. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, and why some of these pennies are selling for astronomical amounts right now. Sounds unbelievable, right? I mean, who would have thought something so small could be worth more than a luxury car, a house, or even your retirement fund? But trust me, this is no myth, it's real, and it's happening right now. So, what makes this penny so special? Let me take you back to 2008, when the US Mint produced millions of Lincoln pennies. But among these ordinary coins, a few extraordinary ones slipped through the cracks. And those are the ones that collectors today are willing to pay millions for. Now, before you start flipping over every penny in your jar, let me explain exactly what you need to find. The 2008 Lincoln penny is special because of a rare error called the double die. In simple terms, the coin was struck twice by mistake, causing certain details to appear doubled. And here's the kicker, this error is often found on Lincoln's face or the inscriptions. Now, if you're wondering, wait, how do I spot this error without a magnifying glass the size of a telescope? Don't worry. It's actually simpler than you think. Look at the word Liberty or the date 2008. If you see a slight shadow or doubling effect, you might be holding a fortune. And here's a funny thought, imagine trying to pay for a cup of coffee with this penny and later finding out you just tipped the barista a $1 million coin. Ouch, but here's where the urgency kicks in. These coins aren't just sitting around waiting to be found. Collectors are hunting for them every day, and with each new discovery, the value of the remaining coins goes up. The market is hot, and the clock is ticking. So, what exactly is this coin worth? Well, one pristine 2008 Lincoln penny recently sold for just under $2 million at auction. Yes, you heard that right, a penny that someone likely overlooked for years turned into a millionaire's ticket. But here's the twist, these coins are still out there. In jars, in drawers, even stuck between couch cushions across America. And the next one could be yours. Don't leave this opportunity to chance. Check your coins today. Look for the doubling, inspect that Denver Mint mark, and if you think you've got something special, get it appraised by a professional. Because while pennies might seem small, the potential here is anything but, and who knows? The next time someone tells you, a penny saved is a penny earned, you might just smile, knowing your penny is worth more than their entire savings account. Thanks for watching, and remember, your fortune might just be in your pocket. Happy hunting! Did you know that a simple 1973 Lincoln penny could be your ticket to millions? Yes, you heard that right. A penny worth up to $4 million. Before you dismiss this as a dream, ask yourself this. What if the fortune you've been searching for has been sitting in your pocket change all along? Hold that thought. In a world where treasures are often hidden in plain sight, the 1973 Lincoln penny has emerged as one of the most sought-after coins among collectors. But why this penny? Why 1973? And most importantly, how can you tell if you have one of these rare gems? Don't worry, I've got you covered. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, and trust me, you don't want to miss this. Let's rewind to 1973. The Vietnam War was ending, the Watergate scandal was unfolding, and amidst all the chaos, a small copper coin was being minted in Denver. Seems insignificant, right? But here's the twist. Some of these pennies had errors, and errors in the coin world mean big money. Think of it like a factory defect in a luxury car, collectors go wild for it. But don't start rummaging through your old piggy banks just yet. Here's where it gets interesting. The 1973 Lincoln penny with certain minting errors, like double die obverse or off-center strikes, has been fetching astronomical prices at auctions. And if you're wondering how astronomical, let's just say some lucky sellers have walked away with up to $4 million in their pockets. Imagine what you could do with that kind of money. Pay off your mortgage, travel the world, or simply enjoy the peace of financial freedom. But wait, how do you identify these rare pennies? What makes them stand out? Here's a quick guide. Look for doubling on Lincoln's profile or inscriptions, an unusually thick rim, or any misalignment. And if you spot one, don't just toss it aside. That tiny coin could change your life. Speaking of life-changing moments, ever wonder why some people always seem to find rare treasures? Are they just lucky, or is there a secret? Hold that thought, because in a moment, I'll share a little-known strategy collectors use to find these rare coins. But first, let's talk value. The current market for rare pennies is hotter than ever. With coin auctions breaking records and collectors ready to pay top dollar, now is the perfect time to cash in. And no, you don't need to be a numismatist to profit from this trend. All you need is awareness and a bit of curiosity. Speaking of curiosity, did you ever wonder why pennies are still being made despite their low value? Fun fact, it costs more to produce a penny than it's actually worth. Talk about irony. Now, back to the strategy one promised. One common practice among collectors is to visit estate sales, flea markets, and even garage sales. You'd be surprised how many hidden gems are out there, just waiting to be discovered. And remember, knowledge is your biggest weapon. The more you know about rare coins, the better your chances of finding one. But here's the catch. Not every 1973 Lincoln penny is worth millions. Shocking, right? So, how do you avoid disappointment? Stay with me, because up next, I'll reveal the top 3 authentication tips that experts swear by. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Before we dive into that, let's take a moment to reflect. Imagine holding a 1973 Lincoln penny, knowing it could secure your financial future. Feels surreal, doesn't it? But here's the thing, opportunities like this don't come often. And when they do, you need to act fast. Speaking of acting fast, did you check your coin jar recently? Maybe it's time. Alright, let's talk authentication. First, always inspect the coin under proper lighting and magnification. Second, weigh your penny. Authentic 1973 pennies have a specific weight. And third, get it graded by a professional coin grading service. This not only verifies its authenticity but also increases its market value. Now, here's a question for you. What would you do if you found a $4 million penny today? Think about it. As we wrap up, remember this, fortunes are often hidden in the most unexpected places. The 1973 Lincoln penny is proof of that. So, the next time you come across a penny, don't just dismiss it. It might just be the key to your dreams. Stay curious, stay informed, and who knows? You might be the next millionaire. Until next time, happy hunting. Imagine this, you're holding a simple 1985 Lincoln penny in your hand, something you might have tossed in a jar without a second thought. But what if I told you that one of these seemingly ordinary pennies recently sold for $3.7 million? Yes, you heard that right. And here's the kicker, you might have one of these rare treasures sitting unnoticed in your pocket right now. Don't believe me? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes this penny so valuable and how to check if you've hit the jackpot. Let's dive into the backstory of this coin. In 1985, the Denver Mint produced millions of Lincoln pennies. Most were just your average penny, worth a single cent. But amid this massive production, a few rare errors slipped through, errors so subtle that even seasoned collectors overlooked them for years. Imagine missing out on millions just because you didn't take a closer look at a penny. Feels like forgetting your lottery ticket in your jeans before laundry day, right? So, what makes this 1985 penny worth a life-changing $3.7 million? One word, rarity. These pennies have unique minting errors, like double dies or off-center strikes, making them incredibly scarce. But here's where it gets interesting, these errors are often invisible to the naked eye. You need to know exactly where to look. Ever feel like your eyes are playing tricks on you when you can't find your glasses, and they're on your head? That's what spotting these errors feels like. Now, before you rush to dump out your coin jar, let's break down what you need to check. Look for a distinct doubling on Lincoln's portrait or the inscriptions. The D mint mark should be sharp but might have a slight doubling effect. Another telltale sign is an unusual luster or surface anomaly. It's almost like finding Waldo, but instead of a guy in a red and white shirt, you're hunting for tiny imperfections worth millions. Still with me? Good, because here comes the heart-racing part. In a recent auction, one collector who had been searching for this rare penny for decades finally found it. The final bid? A staggering $3.7 million. Imagine the adrenaline rush. And here's the wild part, the penny was found in a dusty old collection that had been sitting untouched for years. Yes, years. Makes you wonder what treasures might be hiding in your attic or even your couch cushions, right? But why is there such a frenzy over this coin? It's not just the error itself but the story behind it. This penny represents a perfect storm of rarity, demand, and collector obsession. And let's be honest, who doesn't dream of turning a single cent into millions? It's like finding out your old baseball card collection is worth more than your car. Now, don't panic if your penny doesn't have the exact errors we discussed. Even well-preserved 1985 D pennies without major errors can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Yes, even your ordinary-looking penny could be a small fortune waiting to be discovered. So, what's the next step? Grab a magnifying glass, dig through your change, and start inspecting. Time is ticking, and every day more collectors are joining the hunt. Remember, every coin you overlook could be someone else's $3.7 million jackpot. Are you really willing to take that risk? And just when you thought this couldn't get any more exciting, wait until you hear about another penny from the same era that's causing a frenzy in the numismatic world. But that's a story for another video. Subscribe and stay tuned, your fortune could be one penny away. A single penny from 1986 could be worth up to $3.5 million. Yes, you heard that right. One little coin sitting unnoticed in your jar of change might just be your ticket to unimaginable wealth. Imagine waking up tomorrow, holding a penny that could change your life forever. Sounds like a dream, doesn't it? But dreams do come true, and today, I'm going to show you exactly why the 1986 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is making waves in the numismatic world and how you can find one. First, let's dive into the mystery behind the 1986 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. Why is this tiny copper coin commanding such staggering prices? It all starts with a simple error. Mint marks indicate where a coin was produced, Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. But in 1986, a batch of pennies left the mint without any mark. This tiny oversight has turned into a goldmine for collectors. Now, you might be thinking, a missing mint mark? Big deal. But here's the twist, collectors crave rarity, and these pennies are incredibly rare. Picture this, it's like finding a needle in a haystack, except the needle is worth millions. And who wouldn't want to stumble upon a fortune while sorting through spare change? But wait, before you rush to empty your piggy bank, let's talk about what makes this penny worth up to $3.5 million. Condition is everything. Coins graded as MS 68 or higher, meaning they're in nearly perfect condition, fetch the highest prices. Think of it like selling a vintage car, the better the condition, the higher the price. And here's where the excitement kicks in. Some of these pennies have already sold for jaw-dropping amounts at auctions. So, how do you know if you've got one? Check the date, 1986, and ensure there's no mint mark under the year. But hey, don't panic if you don't find one immediately. Remember, treasure hunts are never easy, but the rewards are always worth it. Speaking of treasure hunts, did you ever think a penny could pay off your mortgage? Or maybe buy you that dream vacation? Now, let's break down the current market value. In 2025, collectors are willing to pay anywhere from $10,000 for lower grades to a mind-blowing $3.5 million for top-quality specimens. Yes, millions. And with the market for rare coins booming, the value is only expected to rise. Missing out on this could mean losing the chance of a lifetime. Imagine telling your grandkids you had a $3.5 million penny but never knew it, feeling the rush yet? But wait, there's more. If you're wondering how to sell such a treasure, don't worry. There are trusted auction houses and online platforms where collectors are eagerly waiting to outbid each other for rare finds. And guess what? You don't need to be an expert. With the right guidance, selling your rare coin can be as easy as snapping your fingers. but here comes the big question. What if you don't have a 1986 no mint Mark Lincoln penny? Should you give up? Absolutely not. The world of rare coins is vast, and opportunities are endless. Stay curious, keep searching, and who knows? The next coin you find could be worth even more. So, are you ready to dive into your coin collection and hunt for that life-changing penny? Time is ticking, and every second you wait, someone else might be discovering their fortune. Don't let that be your story. Happy hunting, and may your next penny be worth millions. 2014 no mint Mark Lincoln penny could be your ticket to a life of luxury. Imagine finding a coin worth up to $1.5 million right in your spare change. Sounds unbelievable, right? But trust me, it's very real. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how to identify this rare penny, why it's so valuable, and most importantly, how you can sell it for life-changing money. Don't believe me? Stay with me until the end, and you might just discover that you're sitting on a fortune. Let's start with the story behind the 2014 no mint Mark Lincoln penny. Picture this, it's 2014, the US Mint is producing millions of pennies as usual. But a small batch of pennies is struck without a mint mark. Now, you might be thinking, okay, big deal. It's just a tiny missing letter. But here's where it gets interesting. This little detail makes all the difference. A mint mark indicates where a coin was produced, and when it's missing, it means something unusual happened during production. And in the world of coin collecting, unusual often means valuable. But why does this penny command such a staggering price? Here's the twist, the rarity and demand. Collectors are constantly on the hunt for coins that are unique, and a 2014 Lincoln penny without a mint mark fits the bill perfectly. With only a handful of these pennies known to exist, competition among collectors is fierce. Imagine an auction room where millionaires are raising their paddles, each determined to outbid the other. It's like a high-stakes poker game, but with pennies. Yes, pennies. Now, before you start emptying your piggy bank, let me show you how to identify this treasure. First, look closely at the year 2014 on your penny. You won't see any letter under the date. No D for Denver, no P for Philadelphia. Just a clean, unmarked surface. Found one that matches this description? Hold on tight because you might be holding more than just 1 cent. But wait, don't rush off to sell it just yet. Condition is key. A 2014 no mint Mark Lincoln penny in pristine, uncirculated condition can fetch the highest price. Even the tiniest scratch can lower its value. So, handle it with care. Think of it as holding a fragile glass ornament. One wrong move and, well, let's just say it won't be worth $1 million anymore. Feeling overwhelmed? Don't worry. Finding a coin like this is rare, but not impossible. And if you're wondering, why would someone pay $1.5 million for a penny? Well, collectors see it as an investment. Today's $1.5 million could be worth even more in the future. Remember the Bitcoin craze? Those who got in early are now millionaires. The same logic applies here. Now, here's a question for you. What would you do with $1.5 million? A luxury vacation? A dream home? Or maybe just finally pay off those pesky bills? Hold that thought because coming up next, I'll share the exact steps to get your penny authenticated and sold for top dollar. And trust me, you don't want to miss this part. Alright, let's get into the selling process. First, you need to have your penny authenticated by a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. Think of them as the Michelin star inspectors of the coin world. Once authenticated, the real fun begins, finding the right buyer. Auctions are your best bet. Heritage auctions, Stax Bowers, and even eBay can be goldmines for rare coins, but here's the catch, the market is constantly changing. Prices can skyrocket or plummet depending on demand. That's why timing is everything. Ever heard the phrase, buy low, sell high? Well, in this case, it's find low, sell high. Now, imagine this, You list your penny at auction, the bidding starts, and it quickly climbs to 6 figures. Your heart is pounding. Then 7 figures. Suddenly, $1.5 million. Sold. And just like that, your life changes forever. Sounds exciting, doesn't it? But here's the big question. What if you've been holding on to a fortune without even realizing it? That penny sitting in your drawer could be your golden ticket. So, why wait? Start checking your coins now. Because someone, somewhere, is going to cash in on this rare penny, and it might as well be you. Don't miss out. Your path to wealth could be just one penny away. What if I told you that a simple penny in your pocket could be worth up to $1 million? Yes, you heard that right. The 2018 Mint Mark Lincoln penny is not just loose change, it could be your ticket to unimaginable wealth. But before you start turning your couch cushions upside down, let me show you exactly what makes this coin so valuable and how you could be holding a fortune without even knowing it. Now, let's take a journey back to 2018, a year many of us remember for its ups and downs. But little did we know that something extraordinary was happening at the Denver Mint. Pennies were being struck, but a few of them, well, they were unlike any other. Imagine finding one of these rare gems while paying for coffee. Awkwardly digging through your wallet has never sounded more profitable, right? So, what makes the 2018 Lincoln penny so special? It's not just about the year or the mint mark. Certain pennies from this batch have rare errors that collectors are hunting for like treasure. From double dies to off-center strikes, these tiny flaws can turn an ordinary penny into a jackpot. Imagine a tiny minting error being the difference between 1 cent and $1 million. Crazy, right? Speaking of crazy, have you ever paid for something and thought, wait, did I just hand over a fortune for a $2 coffee? Imagine explaining that to your family. Yeah, honey, we could have been millionaires, but I really needed that latte. But here's where it gets serious. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for these rare 2018 pennies. Auctions have seen bids climbing higher than anyone expected, and prices continue to rise. The market is hot, and the demand is only growing. Don't wait too long because every day you hesitate, someone else might be cashing in. So how do you know if you have one? It's all in the details. Look for a clear mint mark, examine the coin for unusual errors, and most importantly, don't assume any penny is just a penny. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on this, and just when you think it couldn't get any more thrilling, wait until you hear this. There's one specific 2018 penny that shocked the numismatic world when it sold for nearly $1 million. Yes, almost $1 million for a penny. Imagine holding that in your hand right now. Now, let's pause for a moment. Have you checked your wallet today? If not, you might want to after this video. The question is, will you be the one cashing in, or will you be the one saying, if only I had known? Let me guide you through what to look for, where to sell, and how to ensure you get top dollar for your rare coin. Stay with me because, in the next few minutes, I'm revealing the exact signs that make a 2018 Lincoln penny worth up to $1 million. You won't believe how simple it is to identify these valuable errors, and by the end, you'll be rushing to check every penny you own. Remember, opportunities like this don't come every day. What if the key to your wealthy lifestyle is already in your pocket? Don't miss out. Let's dive in and discover if you have the $1 million penny waiting for you.